I know Jen is getting some things set up, so I will just go ahead and introduce all the things. I'm Candace Vandertholen, a holistic practitioner and chapter lead for the Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce. It's really great to be able to support our military spouse entrepreneurs to really utilize and optimize their business in the most efficient ways. And we're so fortunate that we have Jen, who her company is called Small Wins Business Co. And she's all about helping business owners build better systems and optimize their operations. And that also includes, strategy sessions and just really taking the business to the next level so that even if you're a solopreneur, you can really shine your light and do the work that you need to do without feeling that burnout. So Jen, it's been so great to do this series with you. We know that this takes your time. You're in beautiful New Zealand. I'm just so jealous. And today we're going to talk about workflows on autopilot. So we're really excited. I'll pay attention to the chat today and just kind of ask questions along the way. But Jen, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, very excited to be here to do this one. The third of the fourth in the series I'm doing for the Military Spouse Chamber. Today we are going to look at AI and how to make it as simple as possible to integrate it into your business. So I know a lot of you work for yourself, might not have a virtual assistant or a team member, or you're doing everything on your own. So my goal today is to show you how to integrate AI into small parts of your workflows in order to free up your time. I am very excited about this one because I've been testing quite a lot in AI in the operational space. So I'm giving you lots and lots of examples today in how you can utilize tools like, even just ChatGPT. So I'll get into that in a second. But yes, Candace, you did a wonderful intro. I love to help owners and service providers rethink, realign, and rebuild their business to align with their next level of growth. So that can look like, refining your systems, developing new offers, revamping your client experience, integrating AI, excuse me, and looking at the future of your business and making sure that the work and the offers and the way that you are running your business are aligned with where you want to go. Like I said, yes, I'm in beautiful New Zealand. It's not necessarily very beautiful today. It's rainy and cloudy, so I can't really see anything, but majority of the time it's very, very beautiful. I am a business strategist and consultant. I have a cat named Lola. I rescued her about 2 years ago. And yes, lover of small wins. So I am always encouraging my clients to celebrate weekly small wins because a lot of the times our goals take a lot longer than we anticipate. So we need to make sure that we are celebrating every step of the journey. My journey is I started out in building out marketing strategies. I've supported over 700 businesses. I've created content and systems courses, and I've helped over 250 students. And currently I am in the space of facilitating VIP days to help business owners map out their offers, their client or team experience, or a launch in a day. So that's been very exciting. And always, my mission is to help business owners make way for new opportunities, again, that align with their version of success and celebrate the small wins along the way. So let's jump into today. So today's focus obviously is using AI in your business without feeling like you need to be a super tech savvy person. So if you have watched the replay or have joined us live over the last 2 sessions, you know that we've laid out that roadmap of your next level vision for the next 12 months. And then we started to streamline the back end with smarter systems. So today we're going to look at how we can layer in AI. Again, you do not have to be an AI expert. All that I encourage you to do is to be open-minded in how you can support your business in other ways, other than you doing everything. So we're going to look at what AI can do for you, some use cases, tools and prompts, and how to think like an automator. So quickly, before I jump into the AI, I'm going to define systems and I'm going to define workflows, because I know those words can trip people up sometimes. So I used this in our last workshop, but I thought I would just reiterate what systems are. So a system is made up of more than just a digital tool. It includes documentation, and it includes processes, people, and now obviously can include AI. So an example of a system is a content planning system. So you might, this is maybe for yourself. You have a content planning system that helps you create consistent content weekly. So for instance, the people that are involved in that system is a content creator or yourself. The process involved in that system is a content creation process. So those are the steps you go through in order to create your weekly content. The tools involved in this system, maybe you use Canva, you have a social media scheduler, ChatGPT, Grammarly to make sure you're spelling everything right. And then those SOPs or documentation is how to create a month's worth of content in 2 hours. So again, helps you stay consistent with your content planning and creating. And then maybe you've got a workflow. So you also publish on your blog every week. So you will have a step-by-step workflow of how to publish a blog on your workflow that helps with your content planning. Next is a framework. So maybe you have built out a 3-step content planning framework so it doesn't feel overwhelming to go through and use your content planning system. So obviously we could write out 25 different steps in order to create content, but maybe you have been able to organize and simplify it down into a 3-step planning framework that you use. So all of these things together make up a system. Next is a workflow. So this, again, is just a step-by-step process that shows how something gets done. So that is, you have a trigger, which is start. What kicks that workflow off? Whether it's, a client pays you, they sign a contract, somebody books a call. What's that trigger? The next are the steps. So in the middle, what needs to happen after that trigger is set? And there'll be multiple steps in this, not just one that I've put here. And then what are the people and tools that are a part of the workflow? So who does what and what does the work? So is there anybody else besides you involved, and what tool helps do that work? And then the end result is, what is the final outcome of that workflow? So we're going to look at how we can interject AI today into specific parts of this workflow. And again, I don't want this to be an overwhelming presentation. I know that when you see a whole bunch of examples, I do anyways, it's like my brain gets going and I get really excited, and then I'm like, oh, there's too many options for me and I can go in so many different areas. So towards the end, I'm going to show you how to prioritize integrating AI into your workflows. So some of the ways in which AI can work for you is I know a lot of people already use it for content creation or content prompts and the marketing aspect, but I would love for you to start looking at it as an operations assistant. His operations is still like a funky word for some people, and they don't really understand what the back end of their business is. And systems and operations isn't like the sexy side of business. It's not the fun side. So it doesn't get the love that it absolutely needs in order for you to build the business that you want. We focus much more on the front end, the marketing and content side. But I want you to think of how AI can start helping you with the back end of your business. So some of the ways can help is obviously with systems and workflows. So having AI build and manage your workflows in tools like Notion or Asana. AI can automate some recurring tasks that you have. It can draft content. Maybe it can answer FAQs. It can set up folders when new clients starts. I mean, the the options are endless when it comes to AI helping us with especially admin and recurring tasks. It can improve your content consistency. So you can save prompts. AI can help generate social media posts, podcasts, emails in your brand voice. So again, just saving you tons and tons of hours. And then improving your client experience. So this is where I use it quite a lot. So it can obviously create email sequences, project updates, onboarding, offboarding experiences, and it can show you the gaps and opportunities that you have within your client experience very quickly. One of the ways is, if you just use ChatGPT and you upload, here are the steps that my client goes through when I deliver this service. You can ask it to find gaps and opportunities for you to better your client experience, to, wow them or delight them, make it unforgettable. And ChatGPT does a really, really good job of analyzing what you do and giving you some really, really good examples um, of how to better that better that experience. You can also ask it to, where are steps in my client experience that should be automated so that I don't have to manually do everyone. So it's just getting comfortable with asking AI to help you, not just with the content, but with making your offers better, with streamlining your back end of your business, organizing your systems, organizing your time. There's a lot of ways in which, yeah, AI can help, but I want you to think of it as an operations assistant, not just a content creation assistant. So some examples here, a coach, a business coach or a life coach sets up a ChatGPT to draft her weekly newsletter based on her podcast transcript. So she's, downloaded her transcript into ChatGPT and has asked it to create a weekly newsletter based on that podcast. So instead of having to read her transcript, write out the newsletter, it's saving her, almost 2 hours every Monday that she does it. So again, it's not about speeding up how much you can do. It's about eliminating these tasks that take up your time so that you can focus on more of the business development, the strategic planning, and being an owner rather than an employee in your business. So the more you can have ChatGPT or other AI tools help you, the easier it's going to be for you to move forward toward your goals in your business. A service provider automates a trigger to create a Trello or Notion task the moment a Stripe payment lands. So if you have clients that pay via Stripe online, that can be triggered into automatically adding a task to your task management tool you use, and that maybe triggers a client onboarding task list. So you don't have to manually create tasks and you don't have to manually set up some projects. A brand designer automates the send of a personalized what to expect next email the instant a contract is signed. So one of the things that I notice in client experience on the operational side of business is the amount of guessing and unknowing a client goes through when you don't have an onboarding experience mapped out. So if you pay thousands of dollars to somebody and they don't contact you until the day you start together, that creates a lot of worry, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of fogginess around what should I be doing? What should I be planning? what can I prep? And do they just take my money and go? Like, how do I know that, they're preparing me for the best outcome when we start? So being able to trigger automations like this to help give people information straight away, build a fantastic client experience because you're immediately telling them the next steps. So that gives them clarity, but also eases their nervous system around, okay, I know what I need to do. I might have dropped $3,000 as a deposit, but we've got work to do and I know the next steps. So again, builds confidence in them getting the work done straight away. And a business strategist converts a long form blog into a value packed LinkedIn carousel. So I'll go through a repurposing example later, but ChatGPT, does it, Gemini, Claude, all those are really good at being able to repurpose content into different forms. And I think this, because content's such a major player in business ownership now, it's such a game changer in being able to prompt ChatGPT to say, take this blog and turn it into a LinkedIn carousel, an Instagram carousel, a TikTok video reel, and an email newsletter. Here's the, target audience for each one of those. Build a call to action at the end, and here's my, remember my brand voice. So not only can it do a LinkedIn carousel, but it could basically create content for each channel that you have online, which I think is just, it's so nice. It's so nice as somebody who works for themselves. Um, so how would you use AI as a small business? So this is for, people who have small teams or again, solopreneur, self-employed, work for yourself. What are some ways you can use it? Like I said, content planning and repurposing. Like you can actually, if you have a podcast, a blog, a YouTube video, an Instagram or LinkedIn caption, or an email, you can prompt AI to break it into so many posts. So you could technically have, let's say you have a YouTube video or a blog where it's, an in-depth blog. You could say to AI, I'm going to prompt it to break it down into 20 pieces of content. So you could say, I want 5 hooks for Instagram Reels. I want 5 LinkedIn posts, 5 different small emails, and 1 short video script. So then maybe that could be a YouTube short. But it obviously depends on where you are publishing content for your business and that part of your content strategy. So this isn't an invitation just to create content everywhere and throw it up. It obviously has to have purpose and meaning and align with where, the goals that you're trying to achieve. But you can have it break it content down so little that one piece of content can be 20 pieces of smaller hooks, captions. Maybe you are like, I want to turn my reel into a series, so they can break it down into a series as well. SOP creation, I use this all the time. So SOPs are boring. And if we don't have a team or we don't have an admin assistant, I still think this is not a good use of their time. I think now you can use AI by uploading, say, a video tutorial of you walking through a certain process, and AI can now populate a step-by-step checklist for you. So Loom, which is a video tutorial, a video sharing app, which just records your screen, is a godsend. So you can record your screen, go through a process, and then if you if you are on the payment plan of including AI, it actually has the option to create the SOP already. So not only does it do the video, the captions, you can edit the video, you can then choose how you want the SOP to be created. Do you want it to be a checklist? Do you want it to be a typical SOP? Do you want it to be a numbered list? Do you want it to be I think it's like not a story, but more paragraph driven? There's multiple options you can try. So maybe you take 5 minutes to do this Loom video and now you have an SOP already written for you. So instead of taking 5 hours to do this, you now have done it in less than 10 minutes, which is just mind blowing how amazing this is for small businesses. Another one, onboarding sequence. So you can automate the creation of welcome emails, resource lists, and those first call reminders using templates. So you can have templates in Gmail, you can have templates in your email service provider. You can have triggers using tools like Zapier or Make, and those will trigger those emails to go out. So again, just making sure that the setup is done, which we'll talk about in a bit, and then things are automatically sent for you. And I just think it's such a brilliant way to be able to scale your business, but still stay small as far as employee or team wise. Another one, meeting summaries, follow-ups. So for instance, you record your Zoom call with an AI note taker. So I use Fathom.io, and then AI summarizes that Zoom call, gives you an action steps, and then opportunities to copy and paste summaries straight to Google Docs, straight to the tasks. You can copy and paste straight to Asana, and they're in that format. And then you can also upload the meeting summary and follow up meeting summary into ChatGPT and ask it for further takeaways, action steps, or again, where are some gaps and opportunities for us to better that call next time. So you can also use AI kind of as like an built-in audit system, as in like how can I make things better for my business or my clients or my team. You can use it for that. So another big example, say a course creator uses Zoom AI and ChatGPT to turn their coaching call transcripts into feedback and content. So this is an awesome way to use ChatGPT. I use this all the time. So let's say that part of the course, they offer group coaching calls to everybody who has purchased the course. So once the Zoom recording is done, it is automatically transcribed with Zoom AI, and it is you can have it automatically downloaded to your computer. Then you can paste the transcript into ChatGPT, and with the prompt that you've written, you ask it to summarize takeaways, questions asked, and next steps. So not only can you tell it to do that, you can also say, create content posts, emails, and podcast ideas based on the key takeaways and questions asked to help you build visibility with your target audience. So now the questions and the key takeaways and everything you're talking about in this chat is now content for you to build awareness and visibility to your target audience straight away. So now you've got content ideas that are going to help pull people in, and so much easier for you to be able to talk to that target audience and encourage them to sign up for the course. You can also ask ChatGPT to find gaps and opportunities you can add to the course that has come from this call. So that's a huge benefit to using AI, because this is done in 30 seconds, not 3 weeks. I think that is one of my favorite ways to use AI. Another one is coach sets up ChatGPT to draft her weekly newsletter. Again, based on the podcast transcript, saving time. A virtual assistant uses ChatGPT and Descript, which is another video recording and podcast tool. Descript converts team meetings into weekly progress reports, and there's very, very minimal typing here. So you don't have to write out meeting notes anymore. You can just copy and paste. Maybe an online business owner uses ChatGPT to generate launch timelines for their new offers. So when a client shares their launch date and offer details, the online business manager inputs into ChatGPT with a saved prompt, and then it generates a full 4-week pre-launch and launch timeline with suggested tasks, due dates. You can also add in this saved prompt, ask it for content ideas based on the target audience. You can have it put that 4-week pre-launch timeline in a table. You can ask it to put it in a Google Doc, a Notion template. You can basically tell it however you need that information to look, you can tell ChatGPT to do that. So again, using it as an operations assistant to help with strategic planning and getting projects off the ground, I think is game changer here, as you no longer have to sit there and carve out time in your schedule to plan out a launch, and you keep missing that event in your calendar because you keep putting it off because it's too much time, whereas you can do it in ChatGPT in like 10 minutes. Another one that I really love is, let's say you have a podcast. You don't have to be a producer, but let's just say you've got a podcast. So you can use ChatGPT and Notion to create episode packs. So once an episode is transcribed, you can upload to ChatGPT to generate a show summary, pull quotes, social captions, episode highlights, the show summary or show notes. You can have it write a blog based on that podcast as well. And then those are added to, say, a Notion database, so the client can review and approve in one place. So that is if they're a podcast producer. But if you do this for yourself, it pulls it into a database in Notion or wherever you want this information to go. It pulls it into there, and you can review that episode with the show notes, quotes, captions, highlights all at once to make sure that's great and good to go. And if you do have a virtual assistant, they can then go into that database and pull all those social captions, highlights, quotes, and make the content for you if you use Canva or something. So again, streamlining that workflow from recording to publishing, and AI doing very heavy lifting, and you can now be producing weekly podcasts in 2 hours, not 10 hours. And I think this is just such a great way to utilize AI to help build visibility for your business, because I know we have a very small amount of time every single day, every single week to help put ourselves out there and generate leads and clients and sales, and being able to do big pieces of content. But the admin aspect and the back end systems aspect is done by AI is brilliant. I'm just gonna stop real quick and take a sip. Oh, okay.
You're doing amazing with all of the ways in which we can use AI to, I really love the idea of making it an operations assistant, because we are so instantly driven to the content creation side versus how can we optimize our time. And even just, I did not know that about Loom, being able to That is, I mean, how easy is that? You know, you do a 5-minute video or three half the time and you're good to go. That's incredible. And even I really value the analytic side of AI. So like putting it in, asking, where are those missing pieces? What are the gaps? And even just down to, like you said, having the questions pulled so that you can then just be able to answer those questions again. That's a genius. I love that.
I am like really obsessed with utilizing ChatGPT to analyze things. Another way is like I have so many ideas or something that I want to articulate, but I can't take it out of my brain and put it on paper or type it. It just like there's a disconnect.
Uh-huh.
So I use ChatGPT. I say, this is what I'm trying to say. Formulate it into a thought leadership post for LinkedIn or help me define this idea that I have because it's really confusing. Um, Here's what I want to do. What can it look like? So it helps me basically brainstorm
Mm-hmm.
and formulate that idea. So, a big part of my group program that I'm relaunching later this year will have an ops bot in there,
Mm-hmm.
an ops chat GPT to help them run their business. Um, but like writing that out, I go, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unclear on how to go about this and all the moving pieces. Help me define this.
Yeah. It's so
Brilliant.
helpful. Well, and analyzing that, I think that's what I use it a lot for is to help me analyze things and be like, what am I missing? Because again, like we think about, we're so in our expertise that we forget like the beginning of the journey and like it. So yeah. Anyways, I just hopefully they give you a little bit of rest time for you.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay. And I would say if you're not an analytical person or reporting does your head in and you're not good with that aspect, uploading your reports, your CSVs, any spreadsheets, anything to ChatGPT and asking it to analyze, report, and put it into and explain it like you're 10
Yep.
is amazing. Um, it's it's like, oh, I actually do understand this. I just didn't understand the language beforehand. I
Yeah.
can I can interpret this data. So then you can actually learn very quickly how to analyze something because ChatGPT showed you it's like this is what it means. And you go, oh yeah, I do know that what that means. So
Right.
now next time you look at that type of um, reporting or data, you know how to analyze it. So yeah, it's you learn a lot faster. You pick things up, and it builds that confidence in knowing that you can manage and run and build your business
Mhm.
across every level. So yeah, if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed with the
Yeah. Yeah.
possibilities of how to use AI, what we're going to do is we're going to start with prioritizing the workflow or area of business that you do manually and often. So
Yeah.
if you've
Amazing.
got a space, yeah, where you are manually doing so much of the work, that's where we're going to prioritize integrating AI.
Yeah, and real quick, Michelle said she used it to come up with a task list or Excel for doing a charity event so that nothing falls through the cracks. And she said it, covered all the broad strokes, like getting permits and all the things. And it is literally like a genius. I use it all the time to make spreadsheets because that's not my area of fun. But anyways,
No, it's I use it all the time and with my clients, I do Loom videos, and then now I don't have to write out the SOP for the team. I just copy and paste it into their resource hub, and it's 3-minute video instead of 3 hours of doing all that. So, yeah, it's incredible what it can do and help you deliver in your business just at such a higher level now. So yes, prioritizing your workflows. This is like of all the things that we talk about today, I would focus on this because this is the operation side. This is where we're going to start looking at how AI can help us in this aspect, because we need to be able to define or identify the areas we repeat every week and we do manually. So, what is something that takes us over 30 minutes every time to do, or even 15 minutes realistically? So, we're going to start with one workflow and repeat the ones that repeat maybe every week or every 2 weeks, every month. Um, and we're going to ask ourselves, how can it be template? How can it be a template? How can it be maybe semi-automated? So again, we don't have to go fully if there are nuances or areas where you really like to do that work, or AI assisted. So yes, one workflow you repeat every week. Yeah, onboard, maybe it's you onboard a client, maybe it's updating clients, maybe coaching calls, your weekly content, maybe you do a weekly update on your financials or your reporting, maybe you add data to a spreadsheet. Um, just think of, and you don't have to go big. You don't have to go marketing strategy. You know, you can go quite granular with this. Next is to focus on the low risk, high impact areas first. So, drafting content, things like that, where it's low risk. Finances, I wouldn't necessarily start with finances. I would get comfortable in integrating AI and using automations before we get into like the number side. Or, um, but what I mean when I say start in areas where there's room to test and learn is don't start testing and learning on your clients' tools or in their business. Try and focus internally first, before you try to adopt or adapt it to your clients' work. So if you're a service provider like me, where currently I am setting up a sauna for a bigger business, and they have very complex workflows, very complex. So I test the AI aspects of what I want to integrate with them in my Asana first, not in theirs, because I don't want things to mess anything up. I don't want to accidentally delete anything. And that's a very high risk, high impact area. It's low risk when it's internal and in my system. So um, avoid, yeah, doing complex things and making client decisions based on things that you are testing. Next, use a filter to choose where to start. So these are just some really easy, quick, for, almost like a scorecard for you, for yourself. What's repetitive in your business? Maybe happens weekly, daily, monthly. What's time consuming? So 30 minutes or more. What's low creativity required? So again, doesn't need much of you in the moment, and it's easy to test. So it can be run manually first to see how it feels. So we don't want it to be, you know, over redoing your entire client onboarding experience. Maybe it's one aspect of it, and maybe that's when, when a client books a call, or signs their contract, then I set up their folders, I set up resources, I set up all these things, their Slack channel or Voxer channel. I set all these things up, and it does take over 30 minutes. What part of that can I test and automate so that I don't have to do it? So, what part of that onboarding experience, not the full onboarding, but just that instance where contracts signed, or they pay, or they book a call, some sort of trigger, small trigger. How can I automate the setup of their resources and their, say, client portal or whatever you call it? That's a really good one to start with, because you don't realize how much time that actually takes you. Um, when you do everything from scratch every single time. And then don't start by trying to connect 5 platforms. So let's say, we start with one tool and one task. So maybe you decide to use ChatGPT and Notion, or ChatGPT and Trello, or Google Docs, or Teams, whatever you want to use. Keep it simple and only do one at a time. Um, I think the thing is we try to do so much, or we go really, really big with especially ChatGPT. And then it's, pages and pages and pages of things you have to read, and that doesn't save you any time. So if we want to enhance a part of our current workflow, whatever one you have filtered as your priority workflow you need to work on, we need to break it down into small steps of where you're going to integrate AI or a template or automate it. And then we have to build prompts, we have to test, and then we have to adjust. So while ChatGPT and AI is fantastic and amazing and helps us, streamline our work, it's also a space for us to analyze the prompting and testing and adjusting. So what's working, what's not, how can we make it faster? How can we do it without me? And you can do that inside of ChatGPT. You can ask it to write out, your process, your automation. You can ask it for the step-by-step instructions. But don't make it a prompt where you say, improve my client onboarding system, because then that would just be insane and massive. And so you would say, I would like to improve and automate my client onboarding system. Here's what I currently do. Here's what I want to do. What is the first stage we work at? Give me the step-by-steps for stage 1. So again, keeping it very, very simple. You could even tell it, give me the steps on automating setting up client folders. So again, getting even deeper into a smaller task. So we'll go back to that repurposing weekly content idea. So you post weekly Instagram carousels, but you want to get more out of your Instagram content. So again, you can paste the Instagram post into ChatGPT, and then you can prompt it to write a newsletter, 3 tweet style quotes, which you can use on Threads or if you're on X, or use it in LinkedIn as well. Prompt it to write a 15-second reel script. You can also then save it into your Notion content board or whatever, space that you have your content planning system. And then you can actually ask it another second prompt to write the call to actions for each one of those. And usually, it's over an hour saved, easily an hour saved, writing out a newsletter, 3 quotes, and a script. You can ask it to do much more than these 3 things. You can ask it to do, write a podcast episode. You can ask it to write an Instagram stories. You can ask it to write 5 hooks to get people to 5 hooks based on this Instagram carousel that you can use later on in other content. So again, only tools that you need in this is ChatGPT and Notion AI, either one. Because you can use Notion AI to ask for these things as well. So the cool thing about this is again, a small part of your manual work that you do every week. But now you have easily, I'm going to say easily, an hour back of your time. And when you start to do this multiple times, you're like, I have 10 hours now in my week. And that 10 hours is going to be used. And you can ask ChatGPT this as well, saying, I have 10 hours now. How can I focus my time on business development? Or here are my goals. I have 10 more hours a week that that I have to work on my business. How would you prioritize my time to hit these goals? So again, it's like ask it to be your strategic planner, your ops assistant, and basically your second hand, 2IC in business. So you've now got a business manager helping you prioritize the work that you need to do in order to achieve your goals in that time frame you have. So simplify your systems using AI, create space for new opportunities, and then use AI again to help you streamline that time you've got. And then again, the other added layer of this is the more you do this, the better business owner you're going to be because you're going to be focusing on the right priorities that are aligned with those goals that you have. So, shiny object syndrome might go away. You be really focused and aligned on the work you need to do. No more second guessing. Do I need to make more content or do I need to do this? You have a very clear understanding of where to prioritize your time in your business. And you will find out through this is if you do ask ChatGPT to help you, I've got 10 hours, where would you prioritize your time? And it gives you like suggestions like, spend it strategic planning, simplifying your systems, or, building a better client experience or going to network. You're like, oh, I haven't looked at my systems in a really long time. So it's going to help identify the gaps and opportunities for you to build a better business, like indirectly, which is, again, amazing. And obviously, this could essentially take away my business strategy service. But for the meantime, I think I will always help people utilize AI to learn how to be more strategic in their business because it's just like it's free I mean it's 20, I use the ChatGPT Plus, so I highly recommend it. What is it, $25 a month? It's very cheap. um Highly recommend. And so it's a matter of what value do you place on your time and how can AI save it for you. So some tools and prompts that I think I'm going to show you some more examples. But the tools that I use that are quite popular, um, obviously ChatGPT, I've talked about it quite a bit. Zapier. So Zapier is a connector between apps, and triggers automations. It is brilliant. And there's one also called Make. So Make is like Zapier on steroids. It does much bigger heavy lifting. It's much more technical. And yeah, I would say it's more robust. Zapier is easier to use. Notion and Asana AI. So um, if you struggle with project management and task management, integrating the AI option in that tool is an incredible game changer because you can ask it where your roadblocks are. You can ask it if you've um, given yourself too many tasks for the week. You can ask it to summarize project statuses. You can ask it to take meeting notes and create tasks. You can have it build workflows for you, automate the movement of specific steps in your, say, onboarding project or your client delivery project. Is fascinating what project management AI can do for you now. And again, it just helps you manage multiple projects at once without feeling overwhelmed. Descript. So Descript, again, like that podcast audio video tool, and turn all of your audio and video into written content. Um, it can also like pull. So if you've done a video, if you're recording a video on Descript, it can pull 15-second clips for you. So it automatically pulls like the juicy content out of the video that you just recorded, puts the captions on it for you, and then pulls the audio into a transcript for you as well. So it's fascinating how AI is helping us do things quicker but better as well. It's not just, put out thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of content. It's like, here's the best part of that video. Here's it in 15 seconds for a reel or a TikTok captioned for you, and away you go. So that's a great lead and a reel for that specific video that you are trying to promote. Airtable is like, I call it Google Sheets on steroids, but it's much more than that now. It's really good. It can be used as a CRM. It's really good for, if you've got tracking client progress, using it as a systems vault of where things lie, how you utilize tools in your business. Really good at generating summaries. I use it for my onboarding intake forms. It's really, really easy, and easy to see the information and utilize it for social media proof as well. So thinking like an automator, I'll go through this real quick, is we've got to know when we're asking AI to do something, we have to start with knowing what to ask and in what order. So when we're prompt building, we're defining the task and then telling AI what we want it to do, how it should respond, and the format you want. Okay, so use every single time. It's like act as a operations assistant. Here's the task. This is what I want you to do. I want you to respond in bullet points, and I want it to be in my brand voice, for instance. So think of it as an inputs, actions, and outcomes. So every workflow that you want to use has three parts: the trigger, action, and system. And what result do you want out of this prompt? That's a really important thing to add as your prompt in your prompts is, what do you want it to do? But what's the result you're looking for? I have found that the more details you give, the easier it is to get better results. So here's an example prompt. Write a 3 email onboarding sequence for a new one-on-one coaching client. Keep the tone friendly, professional, personalized. Email 1 is welcome. Email 2 is prep. Email 3 is first call reminder with the Zoom link placeholder. So 3 emails done. You can save those into your email service provider or Gmail. And again, that prompt saves you an hour of writing those emails every single time somebody onboards with you. Another one, summarize all completed and in progress tasks from this project for the past 7 days. Highlight any overdue items and upcoming deadlines. Format it as a quick project update I can share in our Monday meeting. This is huge. Like being able to summarize where projects are so that you can give updates easily. So for instance, for me, I work with clients and I'm on a big project with a client and we have weekly meetings. So I can ask AI to summarize all the tasks that have been completed in the project over the past 7 days. I can say, highlight overdue items, bottlenecks, deadlines, put it in a bullet point, quick project update for me. And so now I can do that in 10 seconds rather than going through every single project, looking at where it's at. And that status report now makes me more confident in understanding what the team needs to do the next week. But also our team meetings are 30 minutes now, not 90 minutes, because everybody can generate a summary and they don't have to put that task in their weekly work anymore because it's not an hour, it's 10 minutes. And that's, again, saving the team so much time in these random admin things we've got to do all the time. Um, Another one, based on the project being a VIP day for a brand strategist, generate a checklist of onboarding tasks, including intake form review, resource prep, kickoff call setup. Assign deadlines within 5 days of the project start. So that immediately builds an onboarding workflow instantly for that new client. And I can put this in my Asana. I can put it in Notion. I can put it wherever I'm working with this person so that they have these tasks and deadlines. And again, takes 2 seconds. So pulling it all together, we're using AI in your workflows and your business. It doesn't have to be complicated. We're starting small and we're starting with one part of your workflow, not a full workflow. So prioritize which workflow you need to work on first, and you want to integrate AI into it. You're going to write out that workflow and have ChatGPT edit it or finish it. Choose a manual time-heavy workflow and start there. We're going to test. You got to test, and make sure we are not trying to integrate 5 tools at once. It's one tool, one task. Practice building out those prompts. So remember inputs, actions, and outcomes. So tell it what, tell them the task, tell it what it should do, give it instructions on how it should be formatted and the results that you want. And start with native AI in your tools. So ChatGPT is great, love it, amazing. But where else are you working? What's your systems map? What other tools are you using and their AI features? Can they help with the automations in your projects, in your operations, finances, team training, onboarding, whatever it is? How can the native AI in those tools help you out? Um, so I think, yes, that's it. So those who have registered and have shown up today will get a workflow framework template that I created for you. Just helps you visualize step by step a workflow. Very easy. And then that will help you put that into ChatGPT to get started. If you do want to work with me, I do have a systems audit 4-week package for you to identify the systems that need revamping or improving and build an implementation plan. And we can include AI into that. And like I said before, I've got VIP days. So if you ever want to map out a launch offer or client experience in a day, contact me, and I'd love to support you in your business and align with your new goals. That was a lot, as always, in an hour. But no, I enjoyed it.
You did amazing. And I think that, we're really still uncovering just how much AI can save us time, which is like the only resource we don't get back, right? Or
Yep.
out of all of them. And just creative ways to do it, not only just, what we're seeing out there with the creative process. So thank you, Michelle, for being a part of it. We enjoyed having you here. Um,
Mm, Michelle.
and I think that, in the next, few years, we'll start seeing even more of this just back and forth, being able to just systemize the things that, especially as entrepreneurs, most of the time we're really creative people. So
Mm,
organization is not necessarily our strong suit anyway.
yeah.
So
Yep.
why not utilize the systems that have that capability and can support us in that way? So
Yep.
we just appreciate your time again. This has been super helpful, and I'm sure there's so many people that are going to watch this, like the replay, and have questions. So if you guys do, just please feel free to reach out. If you're part of the chamber, we're going to email anybody that registered today, and make sure to catch the next one. I actually need to go back to the date. I have it on my calendar. So we'll email about the next date and everything coming up in July. But yeah, this has been amazing. We just appreciate you, Jen. And thank you for powering through that, even though you've been battling a cold, like you
Oh, yeah.
amazing. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Jen, is there anything else you want to add before we end our live?
Next event is 4 p.m. PST. It's 7/24. It's Thursday, July 24th.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yep. Amazing.